The first game of the weekend is the Buffalo Bills versus the Denver Broncos, and I'm ready to regret my pick either way because this is going to go one of two ways. I already know it. I'm going to pick the Broncos to win and the Bills end up winning, and then I'm going to ask myself, why did I pick Bo Nix over Josh Allen in a playoff game? The other way this goes is that I picked the Bills to win, and after the Broncos win, I ask myself, why didn't I pick the team that's been better all year long to win? So I'm ready to regret my choice either way, but I am going to pick the Broncos to win. Sean Payton already said that this is a Super Bowl team, and in your first playoff game at home, you better win. I understand that it's Josh Allen on the other side, but your team is better. And if you can't beat the Bills this year, then that would be a disappointment. Although I understand that they've overachieved, where they're at, they need to win this game. It's not the same as the Broncos-Bills game last year. The Broncos players have talked about this, how they were just happy to be in the playoffs last year. That's not the case now. They're going for the whole thing. I think they pull it off too. I'm going to pick the Broncos to win 27-20. So the 49ers and the Seahawks face off for the third time this season. They're 1-1 and it's obviously a divisional game, so, it's hard to pick these games, but I am going to go with the Seahawks. The 49ers are coming off one of the most impressive wins this season. To have a roster that injured and banged up going into the game, and then have George Kittle, one of the leaders of the team, one of the most vocal guys, tear his Achilles and to still beat the defending champions, that might be the best win of the season. Now we knew the struggles of that Eagles offense, but the way the Niners just stayed in that game is so impressive. This is one of the best coaching jobs we have ever seen. I know the criticism of Shanahan and his struggles in the Super Bowl, but for him to win the amount that he does and to take these depleted rosters further than much more talented teams shows how good he is. But I think this is the end of the road for them. I think the Niners just don't have enough juice to compete with the Seahawks. The Seahawks are just better than the Niners. The only way you think the Niners win this game is, if you're picking the Niners, you think that Sam Darnold is going to have a disaster of a game. Maybe you just don't trust Sam Darnold in this spot, which is completely fair, I think. But what does Darnold really even have to do to win this game? We saw them play for the 1 seed just a couple weeks ago, and Darnold didn't do anything, and that was enough to win. So as long as he's not awful and throwing 2 or 3 picks, the Seahawks don't need much from him to win this game. I saw what their defense did to the Niners. I think the game plays out similar to that. Now I will say, if Shanahan somehow pulls this off, his legacy could reach insane heights and Sam Darnold will never be trusted again. But my final pick is the Seahawks win this game 23-17. The first game on Sunday is going to be the Houston Texans versus the New England Patriots. The Texans defense might just drag them to the Super Bowl. CJ Stroud, you can be along for the ride. The Texans dominated the Steelers. Even when they were up only 1 point, when they were up 7-6, the Texans felt like they were in control the whole time. Which I understand actually can be kind of concerning for the Texans, right? Because when your offense is doing absolutely nothing, even the best defense might not be able to save you. Since your offense isn't putting up points, you can't create separation. So the other team will always be in the game no matter how good the Texans defense is playing. They could dominate the Patriots and Drake May for the whole game, yet still be in a position where losing is a very real possibility. Like for example, they could be up 13-7 with 2 minutes left, but now the Patriots have the ball and the ability to go down the field and win the game. That's how bad the Texans offense has looked. The Patriots defense also looked good against the Chargers. Drake May was a little shaky in the first half, but he tightened up after halftime. With all the points I'm making, I feel like I should maybe be picking the Patriots, but whether this is delusional or not, I think I trust Stroud not to play that poorly again. Even if he's not going to put up a bunch of points, at least don't just drop the ball everywhere and throw picks. Just keep the offense afloat and don't put the defense in bad positions. If CJ can do that, which I think he can, the Texans win this game and I think they might go all the way. So Texans 24-16 is my final prediction. The last game of the Divisional Round is the Los Angeles Rams versus the Chicago Bears. And this is the game I'm looking forward to the most. It's hard to call this game because of how the Bears look for 3 quarters and then just turn it up all the way come the 4th quarter. I think the Rams have looked shaky lately. They weren't far off from losing to Bryce Young and the Panthers, and some of their regular season games the past couple of weeks, they didn't look the best. It's why I did think that the Panthers were going to cover the 10 points, which they did. The Bears also have one of the best O-lines left in the playoffs, and the Rams' D-line hasn't quite lived up to expectations. Jared Verse, it's your time to shine. Perhaps people put him in conversations he didn't belong in too early, but all of that can go away with the big game here. And as many questions as I have about the Rams defense, the Bears defense is worse. I think the Rams have the potential to put up so many points early in the game that the Bears turning it up for the fourth quarter won't be enough to steal the game. The Bears have already achieved more than I thought they would this season, and if I'm being honest, I am rooting for them. I think the Bears in the Super Bowl would be the best possible case from the NFC, but I just don't think it's going to happen this year. The Bears defense will have no answer for the Stafford and Puka connection, and as good as Ben Johnson is, Sean McVay's still the top guy. So I got the Rams winning this game 28-20. Let's see how many of these I get right. I'll make a video for my predictions of the conference championship games as well. Until next time.